Yeah, hey guys. So this is the newest product that is now up on the store, or the training program, which is on the store, and it's Launch It Local. This is for authority site agency offers, local directory builders. Okay, so Launch It Local. Let's look at what this is and see how or if this is a good fit for you. All right, so essentially, this is going to be a really unique interactive coaching program for marketing consultants, online agencies, and aspiring entrepreneurs. What that means is that if you are sitting at home this Memorial Day weekend or the Tuesday thereafter and trying to get excited about the best opportunity for you to enjoy your summer, make some money, and build something that's valuable, viable, and enduring, that it feels good and has unlimited upside. I really think that if you're trying to build a web-based business, this is really the most appealing and really evergreen approach to doing so. So this particular coaching program or it's a training program. Actually, we're going to work together, you and I, for 4 weeks. You will also get one virtual assistant who will help you if you have some struggles doing some of the technical stuff. Again, this is not a done for you thing, but I have somebody who has a lot of experience with this particular approach will be available to you by email over these 30 days. So, and you'll have me 4 times on the phone for up to 60 minutes per call, which is a pretty long time, actually. So, all right, the general idea here is we're going to be looking at how to take low cost domains, which are anywhere from $12 to $16, let's say. There are some interesting little hacks that you can do to make this even more effective, but we'll just call it $12 for now. I mean, there are ways that you can literally get hosting and a domain for $12 for the year. That just make this just almost too good to be true, but it is true and it is easy. And I'm going to show you some of those things. But let's just say anywhere from $12 to $20 domains. We're going to focus on turning those into $1,200 revenue streams by dint of building, renting, leasing, or selling those assets in your local community. So the general program is going to be to teach you a simple, scalable system for building profitable online assets in your local community on a bootstrap budget. That means that outside of the cost of this training, that you should be able to, for $20 or less, put up a site in a day or two. I can teach you how to do it in an hour or two, but let's even be super conservative and say a day or two. And we're gonna work on how to turn that hour or two or day or two worth of time, energy, and investment into something that's worth $1,200 to you every time you repeat that process. That may sound too good to be true. It's really not. I will walk you through this on the phone. I've certainly covered many of these strategies on my blog, especially in the directory marketing series, so you can see some of these general ideas in play and actually how they land in a real world context by reading some of those posts. I'm not going to cover all of this here. The important things that we are going to cover here quickly, and I want to make this short, is you're going to know your niche. You're going to understand exactly what they need, why they need it, and where you can step in and deliver a big win. This is really, really the most important piece of this process to me. and I think the thing that challenges people in really unfortunate ways. I mean, there's no perfect market or perfect niche or perfect anything. What you need to do is look for areas where others are weak and where you know more, or where you can help them in some sort of empirical or evidence-based way that can be measured, that has a metric associated with it, and that you can improve their lives by virtue of giving them something they don't have now. So I'm going to show you the way that I think this is most effectively done. And I think, again, from an empirical standpoint, you will see that it's true. So part of our process together will be looking in your local niche or looking in your local community, identifying the ideal niche to start with. So for 30 days, you're going to stick with one niche. That's certainly something that you can change. Month 2 or month 3 or month 4, you can actually pick a new niche every month if you so choose using this approach. But for month 1, you're going to know one niche. You're going to know where they're weak, where they're strong, why they're strong, and how to immediately step in and deliver a win, again, using that hour or two or day or two worth of time, energy, and investment that we made when we registered that first domain. So you're going to have 3 premium agency style offers or consulting services. This can be anything from newsletter marketing to SEO to social media marketing to clarity consulting to really anything that works for you. But I'm going to tell you the ones that I think work the best in a local context as an agency owner or as a web marketing consultant. And the thing that I can really give to you that you hopefully will find is far more valuable than the cost of this training is I can mastermind with you what your potential clients are going to need. So we can look at your ideal audience, your niche, and then I can tell you by virtue of my own experience the 3 or 4 or 5 things I would do on every particular potential client that you have that you've either talked to or in process of negotiating with or what have you. I can walk you through the process of really dramatically improving their marketing on the calls that you and I do together. So you're going to have these agency style offers. I will help you pick them if you need them. I will help you perfect them if you have them already. And I will help you optimize and improve them if you, have a general idea of what you want to do, but really aren't exactly sure how to execute on any of that. All right, so you're going to have a rinse and repeat cookbook for building your brand, business, and bank account using this very specific LAUNCHiT style marketing map. All right, so basically you can do this over and over and over again. There's a certain amount of contingency or variability contingent upon the community in which you live. If you live in a town with 100 people or 100 businesses, obviously you need to extend a bit beyond that community to really rinse and repeat and scale. But if you live in the general, any city USA or any decent sized town USA, and you're really looking, or anywhere else for that matter outside of the USA, and you really want to launch um, a web marketing style business or a consultancy or an agency, this is really the ideal approach in my view. And it's evergreen insofar as this works as well in 2017 as it did in 2012. And with all, with the, how do I say this the right way? I was going to make a funny Trump joke there. I will not do it. But with the understanding that our civilization as we know it still exists in 2022, it will work as effectively there as well. I'm trying to keep the comedy to a minimum here so I don't lose half my audience. All right, so here are just basically some of the specifics in terms of the time allotment. I as those of you who have talked to me on the phone already know, I mean, I try to be exceptionally generous with my time, not because I'm an exceptionally generous person, but because I really enjoy masterminding with people, and so there's no timer, but this is a up to 60 minutes. If it goes beyond that, I'm happy to do it if the call is interesting and we're tackling problems that are germane and helpful to your livelihood. This is my passion. I love talking to people about entrepreneurial things and challenges and overcoming things that have held folks back. So if, spending 4 hours with me on the phone on your business in the next month is an appealing idea, this is certainly, I believe, a really good value and a really good way of accomplishing that. All right, so the last thing I'm going to say really quickly is lots of people are coming to this site for directory marketing advice or directory building advice. People will ask me questions every day about the right framework to build on, or the right theme to pick, or the right directory theme, framework, whatever you want to call the variety of different options that we all have as authority site builders. Whether it's a software as a service like a share tribe, whether it's a social network like Mighty Networks or Mighty Bell, or whether it's just something like trying to pick between Listify, Listable, Vantage, Listing Pro, or any of the variety of different themes and frameworks that serve the directory space. I really think those are the wrong questions. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I've interacted with somebody who's asking these really fundamentally confused questions. Someone will use this little box here, and they'll send me this really like detailed message about they're building this and they're building that, and they need to pick between Listify and Listable, and they're just not sure. And that's the only real challenge that they're facing in launching this great new thing. And that's really akin to asking, what color paint should I put in this house I'm buying, because they're the same thing. There's no difference between those two, themes. I mean, they run the same frameworks, the same plugins, the same almost everything, with the exception of the aesthetics are different. So it's really almost a confused understanding of what it is that you're trying to build, or what it is that people in those, who have those kinds of questions are really fundamentally trying to build, or how many listings will this one support versus that one. Again, these are platform questions. They're not questions about WordPress themes. You should be asking whether something like Share Tribe would be a better option, or maybe something like Mighty Networks would be a better option, rather than whether two different WordPress themes are going to have such a significant difference in terms of their operational functionality with regard to your business plans. So something that I really am kind of trying to be a little bit more direct with these days is basically saying, if your biggest challenge is, which directory theme should you pick, and you think that one simple decision is going to define the success that your project is or is not going to have, you're really thinking about this the wrong way. So it's the marketing of all this stuff that matters. To get, and I've covered this in other audios and some videos, but in my view, if you think that building a really successful directory style business is going to happen because you get 200 people to pay $30 a month, for a featured listing, or to claim a listing, and I'm putting that in these little air quotes, which you can't see, or you think that those style offers are what's going to make your project fly. The truth is, that's not true, and in my own business, I've experienced that same confusion where, you get 100 people in month 3 to pay XYZ amount of dollars for a featured listing, or to claim a listing, or to be featured locally, or something in that regard. And then, because it takes a while to really develop a directory into a significant traffic source, especially if you're relying on organic traffic, what happens is, and in other words, you're not paying for traffic, which is the way to expedite all this. What happens is people don't want to pay again month 2 or month 3, or they start to reconsider whether that was a good investment to be featured on your directory. So you start backsliding and having a certain amount of premium payment atrophy, where you have this experience where month after month you're fighting harder and harder to maintain um, payments from folks who, were more than happy and willing to sign up for a featured whatever it is, month 1. But by month 3, they just want a regular Joe Blow, average, ordinary, profile on your directory. So my point is, that's not, if that's your plan, skip it. Don't even build it. I mean, because your chances of really building something significant that is a significant revenue stream anyway is not high, unless you are using some of these other more marketing um, clever strategies, such as you're using that directory to sell back end or high end marketing services, and you're incorporating those featured listings and those premium offers as part and parcel of extra incentive or an inducement, so that folks feel um, they're getting all kinds of benefits by working with you. So in this area here, and again, doesn't have to be the focus. This is not just for directory builders. This program is for people who want to really build, rent, lease, and sell online assets, and use this approach to grow a web marketing style business, an online agency style business, or just perpetual piles of profit using a really proven process that does work. But going back here, if you are a directory builder or an aspiring authority site owner, use it, incorporating a web directory into the process I just outlined above. Flipping websites is the smartest and savviest and most clever and secret and all those, fancy, sort of marketing words. I mean, this is the way you do this in a way that gets people to say yes far more frequently than saying, so what, or how are you different than every other person who's emailed me in the last 3 months with some sort of web marketing offer. So when you lead with the authority site, when you are in a local community and you own something that is notable, or that someone peeks at and says, shit, I've never seen this before, this is a really interesting local site that serves ABC, town.com. I never knew about it. And this guy is offering me, a featured listing on the site, an interview on this directory, plus a really nice looking website that looks awesome, and that would replace my existing really ugly Wix style site, or my landing page on GoDaddy, or whatever, which I know I need to fix. And they're saying they're going to give me all this stuff for $1,200 or $97 a month with a 12-month contract, or they're going to rent it to me, by the month with no obligation thereafter, or they're going to do lead generation for me, or they're giving me all this for free, and the only shoe to drop is they want my SEO business at $197 a month for the next 12 months, which I'm already, which I already know that I need. So there's all kinds of ways that you can incorporate a directory into a really clever, insightful, ethical, I mean, really ethical, honest, authentic, and straightforward strategy for flipping, selling, renting, leasing, lead generation, and otherwise in a local community as a web consultant, as a marketing services provider, as an online agency, or as an online entrepreneur. So all of this we're going to cover together, you and I, 4 times by phone in the next 30 days. You can save $300 by June 4th. This will be gone after June 4th. You also get a 12-month, 300% guarantee, which I almost decided not to incorporate this time, but I'm going to, which is basically this is so easy, whether you do it with me or do it yourself, that for the cost of this course or training, which is $497, if you get this before the 4th, if you don't triple that, so if you don't make at least about $1,500, which you should be able to do in month one, if you don't do that in 12 months, I'll give your money back. It's not about making anything, or it's not about making the cost of the course. I'm saying if you don't literally triple this in the next year, you can have your money back. I almost hesitated to do this because I don't want people signing up just predicated on that promise. But this stuff is so effective. It's so easy. It's so easy to recognize that it's easy just by looking in your local community. So the one thing I will do before I sign off, just to give you some real life evidence that you can do this, is just go pick a niche in your head right now as you're closing this down. Just wherever you live, think of sushi restaurants, or think of insurance agencies, or think of dentists, or real estate agents, or yoga teachers, life coaches, credit repair agencies, whatever it is that pops into your head in this moment. When you're done this video, just go and look for those people within 60 miles of you. And if you find 25 businesses, make a note of how many of those have terrible websites, or websites that are so bad, or are missing so many important things to you as a consumer. If you are looking to do business with those folks, just make a short list of, one, the amount of subpar, uh, you know, online branding or website, aesthetics, or just how things appear and land in the real world. Make a list of the good ones too, so you have a reference point, and just make a short list of all the things as a consumer that you would want to see on the really bad ones and on the really good ones. Like, look at the really good sites that the companies that seem like they're getting it right, or the local insurance agents that seem like they're doing things almost as well as you'd like to see them as a customer or as a client. And then just be free form in your head, how would you approach those folks, especially the ones that have really either bad or no web branding at all, or online presence at all, and write down 3 things that you would recommend they do. If they were your sister, or they were your brother, or they were your neighbor, and they were asking you, by dint of your interest in online marketing, what are 3 things that they could do to improve their marketing in the next 30 days. Picture you're at a Memorial Day barbecue with the sushi restaurant down the street that has great sushi and a terrible website. All right, so these are all the sorts of things that you and I will be doing together, and solving problems for these folks in ways that make you the most valuable and the most in demand person doing, real, ethical, and valuable, and passion based, purpose driven work, that serves those folks in your community who need you most. All right, so that is all, and you can get in touch with me down here if you so desire. You can buy this today if you want. If you've purchased anything from me in the last, let's say, I don't know, 90 days or so, I would prefer that you email me before you buy this. All right, just so, just because I want people, this is really a new person's offer. So if you are working with me or have worked with me in the recent past and are looking at this as well, just shoot me an email before you do so we can make sure it's a good fit for both of us. Okie doke. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.